Well, good afternoon everyone. Welcome to the theatre at Madison Square Garden. We're a little bit cramped in here because we have another press conference held before a show, our big show tonight, World Championship triple header. Demetrius Andrade defending his WBO middleweight championship against Artur Akavov, TJ Dehenny against Takahashi for the IBF Super Bantamweight Championship of the world, and of course Amanda Serrano going for history for her 7th world title championship in different divisions. Also Jorge Linares in his 50th bout in a World Championship eliminator against Kano, Chris Algieri against Danny Gonzalez as well. And tonight, after a fantastic week for DAZN, we announced a new show, March the 9th, a World Championship doubleheader. Dmitry Bivol defending his WBA light heavyweight World Championship against Joe Smith Jr. And of course Maurice HOOKER defending his WBO light welterweight championship against LesPIERRE as well. Fantastic event, March 9th at Turning Stone, live on DAZN, on Sky Sports and all around the world as well. As I said, it's been a huge week for DAZN. You would have seen the news break yesterday about Canelo fighting Danny Jacobs for the unified middleweight world championship, and this is just a huge, huge event for DAZN. Launched, of course, in September with, I believe, the biggest star in the sport in Anthony Joshua, obviously acquiring DAZN, Canelo for DAZN, moving up, winning the WBA Super Middleweight Championship of the world, and now a huge, huge event, May the 4th, Cinco de Mayo, Danny Jacobs against Canelo. We cannot wait for that. And before we talk about the fighters and this event at Turning Stone, I'm going to pass on to Joe Markowski from DAZN to say a few words. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Markowski from DAZN.
Thank you, Eddie, and Happy New Year to everyone here. Thanks for coming. As Eddie said, this has been another pretty monumental week for DAZN and for Matchroom. But more importantly, in our eyes, it's a big week for fight fans. We came into the market in September, as Eddie said, and we made some pretty sizable promises and a lot of noise. And naturally, from a market we were new to, there were questions on whether or not we would deliver. Questions along the lines of, can DAZN really get the biggest stars in the sport? And we've proved that already in Anthony Joshua and in Canelo Alvarez. Can DAZN match these fighters with tough, even opponents? And we can. We've proven that with Danny Jacobs signing for a 3-fight deal with Eddie and Matchroom USA. And now we have May the 4th, the champion v champion blockbuster showdown. And in simply put, in simple terms, any other network, any other platform would have made Canelo Jacobs a pay-per-view. But not our plan, and that's not what we're going to do. It's in our simple DAZN model. Can DAZN assemble a deep enough roster and make compelling fights? Yes. And that is what today's announcement illustrates. Dmitry Bivol against Joe Smith Jr. is a can't-miss action fight between an ascendant champion and a gritty knockout artist. So March 9th will also feature a road warrior and a champion in Maurice HOOKER, who in our eyes is poised to have a breakout 2019. So week by week, we are demonstrating our ability to follow through on our promises, and to use Eddie's favourite word, momentum is building. But it's not just about March the 9th or May the 4th. For us, it's about consistently delivering high-quality content, and because we're not consumed by the precious pay-per-view buys elsewhere in the market, we can deliver solid fight nights leading up to tentpoles, instead of just serving up weeks of promo materials that try to convince you that an upcoming matchup is worth $75. Andrade today, Munguia next week, the highly anticipated Bellator clash between Michael Venom Page and Paul Daly next month. Our schedule just keeps getting stronger. And we're not done. More fights will be signed, more fights will be announced, and all of those fights will be available to fight fans at a low monthly cost, without any BS or the pain of pay-per-view. So I want to wish all the fighters good luck, and I'll see you all tonight inside the Hulu Theatre. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Joe. I know your pitches are quite cheesy, but it's amazing that Jacobs Canelo is off pay-per-view, part of your monthly subscription. And I think, although there's so much competition in the market, although internally within the marketplace, everybody's slagging everybody off, they'll never last, they're going out of business, they're going to pull out of boxing. The fact is that for the fans, this is an incredible, incredible momentous occasion where fights like Jacobs Canelo are coming off pay-per-view and being part of a monthly subscription. Now you have other big pay-per-view events with faded champions against other people, and like Joe says, $75, $80. In the UK, we're running pay-per-view events, $25. That's about as much as we think we can get out of the fans. But over here, I think it's a liberty. $80, $90, $100, and now you have big fights like Jacobs Canelo and other major announcements of major big events like Canelo Jacobs coming very, very soon. Okay, going back to March the 9th card. Again, great to be up at Turning Stone with a big World Championship doubleheader. I'm going to talk about the WBO Light Welterweight Championship first before I pass over to our good friend Lou DeBella, who seems to be involved with every show we do these days, after arguing with me for years and years, and you know, us not liking each other. I feel like you're a dependent relative, to be honest. It's fantastic, and we'll be talking about your charge coming up soon. I know you've been funking for Mikel to get a shot at the world title for a long, long time. And a man that we're very, very proud of, Maurice Hooker, who probably gave me one of my greatest nights in boxing when we drove up from Kansas to Oklahoma, and no disrespect to Alex Saucedo, but to kick Alex Saucedo's butt, right? We lost the purse bid by about $60,000. I was gutted, but I was pleased for Maurice because he made a fortune. And we went up to Oklahoma, we had about 4 or 5 people in the change room, Arnie and Dino, and he came out, there was noise, he got put down in I think the second round, he came back, he stopped Saucedo in a wonderful, wonderful fight. And again, before that, travelled to England to win the WBO Light Welterweight Championship as well. This guy has been a road warrior, this time he's in New York, against a New Yorker as well. Massive fights on the horizon for Maurice Hooker. 2 of them potentially tonight, Chris Algieri against Danny Gonzalez, and also Jorge Linares, which I think is a wonderful fight that could be part of a massive homecoming for Maurice in Dallas. But firstly, he has his second defence against Mikel, and I want to bring up Dino Duva shortly, but to talk about his charge and introduce him, please, I can't say Hall of Fame promoter, but I will do one day, I'm sure. Lou DeBella, everybody.
Oh, it is working. Thank you, Eddie. And I was actually considering the fact that I've actually promoted 3 of the 4 fighters at some point that are on the dais here. I promoted a number of Joe Smith's fights. Maurice, who I know a long, long time, I was looking over a mixed record, and his second pro fight was at Roseland Ballroom, which no longer exists. And on that card was Maurice Hooker. So Maurice and I go back a long way, and really one of the rising stars of the 140-pound division. Mick, I've known a long time, and he's been on a number of my shows. I promoted most of his fights. I didn't sign him to a long-term contract until fairly recently. And the reason I signed him is because I've never in my career really seen a guy that works harder than Mikel LesPIERRE. You know, and has gotten so much better in the ring from fight to fight. But also, this is a guy that works at Mount Sinai Hospital, has worked a full-time job for 10 years. Basically, you know, a good family guy, running from work to the gym. When I signed him, finally I said to him, you know, you're the kind of guy, it took a long time for me to realize it, but you're the kind of guy I want to work with because you deserve it. You deserve an opportunity. And I did fight hard to get this opportunity, but I do believe, while he has a big mountain to climb in Mighty Mo, this is an opportunity that this man has earned by living the right way, by working his ass off. And this is a terrific card, and it's the kind of card I like because it has legitimate storylines. I mean, Bivol might very well be the best light heavyweight in the world. In fact, at the moment, I'm sort of leaning toward thinking he is. But I know Joe Smith, and I watched Joe Smith, you know, knock Bernard Hopkins out of a ring. And very few people in the whole sport can punch the way Joe can punch. Joe can beat anybody on any given night. And this is a great opportunity for Joe to rise to the top again and win a world belt. It's an unbelievable opportunity for Mick. When we were in that side room about a few minutes ago, Mikel said to me, you know, thank you for this. He said that one of the most important things in life for anybody, no matter what you do, is opportunity. And this fight for Mikel LesPIERRE is all about opportunity. Opportunity to show people who he is, what he can do, and an opportunity to fight the best. And that's why he's done this for as long as he's done it. And that's why he works his ass off in and out of the ring. So, and also thank you to Jose, who helped him get to where he is right now, this opportunity. And I'm thrilled to be able to offer it to you. And thank you, Eddie, for that. Thank you, everybody on this dais. And Mikel LesPIERRE.
Mikel, come in now.
Good afternoon, everyone, all in attendance. You know, a lot of you may not know who I am. You may think that I'm not deserving of this. You may think that I'm maybe a walkthrough, but come March 9th, I'm gonna show you guys that, you know, I belong up there with the top elite fighters. And, you know, like, just to take up what Lou said, you know, there's nothing in this world I feel I can't do, from working a 9 to 5 and trying to balance a full-time boxing career. So the fact that I have the opportunity placed in front of me to change my life, I'm gonna do whatever is necessary, you know, to become victorious on March 9th. And I just want to thank everybody. I just want to thank my promoter Lou, my manager, DAZN, Eddie Hearn. I just want to thank everybody that's given me the opportunity. Maurice HOOKER and his camp. I just want to thank everybody that's, you know, giving me the opportunity to present this, for me to fight for this grand gesture. There's nothing more important than, you know, in a fighter's career than fighting for a world title. You know, I'm blessed. I feel blessed. So I'm just ready to, you know, go to work and show everybody what I'm capable of. Thank you.
Over to the champs camp now. Dino, I'm going to call you up wherever you are. Sorry, you should be sitting up here. I meant not sit on that side. But Dino Duva, it's been a pleasure dealing with him. Obviously, we worked with him and had a co-promotional deal on Maurice HOOKER. He's done a great job with Maurice and Arnie as well and the team. And to introduce Maurice, I'd like to call up Dino Duva.
Thank you, Ed. It's just very exciting to be here as part of this great event. As Eddie said, we're so happy that this is going to be Maurice's first fight on the DAZN network. We made our deal before the last fight, but whatever happened with the purse bid, the ultimate result of the fight was great for Maurice, and now we're really looking forward to making his debut on DAZN network under the auspices of Eddie, Matchroom, and everybody else on this show. It's just a terrific show. I just can't say enough about Maurice HOOKER. I mean, anyone who's followed his career, you know, throughout his career, one fight he would look great, one fight, you know, so-so. But when he fought Terry Flanagan for the championship last year in Manchester, Flanagan's hometown, something just clicked with him. He put it all together. And that's what happens sometimes when fighters get the opportunity. Sometimes they make the best of it, sometimes they don't. But Maurice has become a 5 times better fighter since he fought for the title. And then he showed what he has in the Saucedo fight. You know, he got clipped in the second round, came back and just turned it on. Like, he's getting better and better with every fight. And I'm just looking forward to him continuing to get better, which I know he's going to on the DAZN network. We're happy with all these other great fighters and fights that are on the show. Just one thing what Mikel LesPIERRE said, you are very worthy of this fight. Don't ever sell yourself short. You know, Mikel's undefeated. He was in the world ratings. It wasn't one of those things where you try to get him rated after you try to make the fight. He was there already. He's undefeated. He's deserving. Maurice has such big things waiting for him. He's not going to look past Mikel LesPIERRE, though. This is an important fight. Every fight's the most important fight of his life, and he knows it. And it's going to be a great fight that night. Thank you, everybody, for coming out, and we look forward to a great show.
Thank you, Dino, and to bring up the main man, like I said, for me right now, I'm questionably the king of the 140-pound division, coming off the back of 2 sensational victories. I'd like you to welcome upstage WBO World Champion Maurice Mighty Mo HOOKER.
How's it going, everybody? I'm ready to fight March the 9th. I'm ready to fight tonight if I had to. And I just love fighting. I don't care where I fight, I don't care who I fight. I want the big fights out there. Just go and fight Nick. He's a good fighter. I watched him. Good southpaw, slick. He coming to fight. He ranked. I mean, he coming to fight. I'm coming to fight. I'm gonna tell you this. I ain't leaving without my belt. It's gonna be a hell of a fight that night. And I wish him and his team luck.
On to the main event, the WBA Light Heavyweight Championship of the World. It's a fabulous fight, and teamed up with Joe LaGuardia and Joe Smith a while ago, and we had another fight planned. It's going to be in December, and then they've been very patient, and now they stand 1 fight away from becoming WBA Light Heavyweight Championship of the World if they can defeat Dmitry Bivol on March the 9th. It's a big opportunity for Joe Smith, and it's a pleasure again to be working with Joe LaGuardia, who again we're working with tonight with Chris Algieri, and I'd like to call up to introduce his charge, Joe LaGuardia.
Thank you, Eddie. So I'm pleased to be here having this announcement. You know, Joe's been waiting for a while for this world title fight, and you know, I know Lou sat down when he was speaking, but I feel like I always got to stand when I'm by Joe, because I never know when that knockout punch is going to come and I'm jumping up in the air. He's really brought me excitement, because look, we all know about his humble background and a laborer, a union. You know, he comes from real hard-working background. And when he burst on the scene against BoxNation and knocked him out, you know, it was a shocker. And the next step, Bernard Hopkins, retiring Bernard, you know, Joe seems to be doing all the things that are not expected. He's got that knockout power, and he's thrilling, he's exciting, the fans love him. And I know he's humble, but he's got a knockout punch. And it's great that he's going to be able to get that opportunity now on DAZN and up at Turning Stone and fighting for the championship of the world, which has been his dream. And to be fighting Dmitry Bivol, who I look at as being the top light heavyweight out there. It's what we really want, because it's all about opportunity. As was said before, this game's about opportunity. And Joe has made the best of his opportunities. He did it with BoxNation, he did it with Bernard Hopkins, and I'm looking forward to March 9th to see him do it again. Joe Smith, Jr.
Good afternoon, everybody. You know, like everyone's saying, you know, this is a huge opportunity, and I'm gonna take full advantage of it. You know, I want to thank DAZN. I want to thank Bivol for giving me this shot, and these guys, everyone who had a part in making this happen for me, because this is everything I worked for my entire life, and you know, I've worked real hard, trained very hard, had a lot of ups and downs in my career, and but this fight, I'm going to give it everything I have, and come March 9th, I'll be 100% and hopefully taking that title home. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe and Joe. Over to the champion side now. It's an honour to be co-promoting this event with World of Boxing and Vadim and Andrei Rybinski. They have a wonderful stable now, and this relationship with World of Boxing and DAZN is not just about Dmitry Bivol, it's about their entire stable, which is probably one of the strongest stables assembled right now in world boxing. Kuzmin, the big heavyweight, also on the bill. Giasov, who I rate as one of the top 140 pounders coming through. Vadim has assembled a wonderful team of fighters. Been working long term, of course, with Kathy Duva for main events. Welcome, Kathy. On Dmitry Bivol, who I believe is the #1 light heavyweight in the world. I remember watching him at our event that we co-promoted with Vadim in Monaco in November 2017, and I'll be honest with you, I've been chasing him ever since. So it's been a long time coming to work with Dmitry Bivol, but I class him as one of the best punchers in the division, one of the best stylists, one of the best technical fighters as well, at 175 pounds. Told me in the car he wants to go down eventually to 168 and fight Canelo, Callum Smith. I said ask him if he could go up to cruiserweight as well. He said not just yet, but this guy has a legacy to cement in the sport of boxing. And before we pass over to the World of Boxing and Vadim, I'd like to call up Kathy Duva from Main Events to say a few words. Kathy.
Thank you, Eddie. Look, Joe LaGuardia and I do not agree all the time, but I have to agree with everything he said today. Joe Smith clearly deserves this shot. He has shocked and surprised and overperformed and done all kinds of amazing things, and he's one of the most feel-good stories I've ever heard, and it's a pleasure, Joe, to be working with you again. And Dmitry, the future of the light heavyweight division, clearly, we've been saying it for quite some time. I've been chasing him even longer than Eddie's. We can agree on that. And you know, how often do promoters agree? So it is our great honor to be involved with his career and to continue to do so. And I'm looking forward to this fight that I've been trying to make since September. So congratulations, Eddie, you finally got it done. Thank you.
Thanks, Kathy. As I said, co-promoting this bout with World of Boxing, I want to bring up Vadim to say a few words and also talk about your young charges who are appearing on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Vadim Kornilov.
Thank you, Eddie. Pleasure again to be working together with you and with the rest of the Matchroom team. You know, we've done a couple of partnerships, and it's always been a pleasure. You know, DAZN, this is our first time we're working together, and the first time we're beginning to build a relationship. But I'm sure that this step with Dmitry Bivol is just the beginning of a big future for us together. Dmitry Bivol, you know, we were talking to everybody. Everybody knows that. You know, we were considering all options. There were offers that came in for Dmitry Bivol to fight on all other networks. For us, it's very important, first of all, you know, being part of a team that where all the people trust each other and all the people are loyal to each other. And you know, Dmitry started with World of Boxing, continued with main events, joining in the United States, and now it's you know, it's Matchroom, and Matchroom has already done a fight with Bivol in Monaco, and we know that this is going to be a very successful partnership for all of us, and we know 100% that it doesn't matter where all the other light heavyweights are. It's about where, you know, where the best light heavyweight is, and we do believe that the other ones are going to have to come and you know, search for this fight once they need it. It doesn't, you know, networks make it difficult to put big fights together, but once the big fight is out there, it will happen. It has to happen sooner or later, and things will have to work out. And of course, we look forward with many of our other, you know, Uzbek Olympians that are going to be fighting in the United States. And you know, we're working already together with Eddie on putting some great fights together. On this show, Sergey Kuzmin, who's a top 15 WBA super heavyweight, he will be defending his WBA regional title. We're talking about Shakram Giyasov, who's a silver medalist from the Olympics, world champion. You know, one of the top prospects. You know, at 140 for sure, but overall, I think one of the top prospects in the world today. And we're talking about another fighter being on the card, and I think soon there will be news about that. So it's a pleasure, and I really appreciate this. Matchroom, Eddie, DAZN, thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity.
And finally, ladies and gentlemen, to bring up to the dais, as I said, I believe the number one 175-pound light heavyweight in world boxing, the current reigning WBA light heavyweight champion, Dmitry Bivol.
Hello everyone. First of all, I want to say thank you all guys who work with me, who helped me, and this is Vadim Kornilov, Katie Duva, Andrei Rybinski, and of course Eddie HEARN. And I'm glad that my team decided the way of my career, and we will work with DAZN. It's good for me, I think. And I want to say thank you Joe Smith team and Joe Smith because they took this fight, and I think we will make great fight, and I will keep my belt. Thank you.
Thank you, Dmitry, and thank you to everybody coming out. March the 9th, Turning Stone Resort and Casino. Don't miss it, live of course on DAZN. It's been a big week. Jacobs Canelo tonight, triple header world championship. Jamie Munguia defending his WBO light middleweight championship next week. Massive schedule, and stay tuned for some big news over the next week or so on DAZN. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, everybody's going to be available for one-on-ones, and we're going to have a couple of heads-to-heads at the front. We won't take too much of everybody's time because we've got a show that starts very soon. And have a great night tonight, and let's have a massive 2019. Thank you very much.